Yo, what up, friends? So today I wanted to go with the same approach as my last Delve video. I wanted to talk to you guys a bit about Delve, just express some things that I've learned about Delve, and pretty much talk about different ways to approach how to make profit while doing Delve. I've been doing and streaming a lot of Delve on Twitch. There's also been a lot of really cool Delvers on Twitch, and they're pretty much just digging a hole. And one of the most common questions I get that I'm pretty sure all the other Delvers get is, where's the profit? How profitable is it? Do I need to dig a hole? What am I looking for? What am I not looking for? You know, how do I even begin to approach this? And like, what's the whole point? So instead of giving you a breakdown of like a whole spreadsheet and build and all that jazz, I figured we would just have a talk and talk about Delve and the nodes and what it looks like, what to look for, how to do things, and pretty much just kind of give you like a basic hand holding into Delve. Now, if you want to learn more about Delve builds, or you want to learn more about like how to min-max it or how to farm your sulfite or any of that, leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear what you guys are interested about with Delve, what kind of topics you'd like to talk about, and I'd be more than happy to go over and make more videos on this topic. I know there's not a lot of information floating around, but the information that is there is pretty good, and if I can bring it to light for you guys, it's something I really want to do. Now, Delve itself is a really spooky place. It is an infinitely scaling underground depth of who's its and what's its and how the hells did you figure any of this out. And as you can see, this is my mine shaft. Currently, I am at a depth of 1197. My goal is to get to about 2000 this league. Last league, I got to about 1600. And I just want to see how far I can push it and what kind of things that I'm looking for. Now, the first really cool trick that I want to show you guys is if you delve a lot or you change characters or you don't want to like do this and scroll up back to the top, you can actually type depth and then a depth and it'll bring you straight to a depth. So normally if you're first time in Delve and you sit down in Delve and you're like ready to go and you're like clicking it for the first time, odds are you'll be around depth 100, maybe 90, maybe 80, and you're like sitting down the first time. You can actually see where my mine shaft started right here at 62. Now, your mine shaft, as you go down and as you create a hole, will dig a hole straight down for you, but you can actually see where I started on my Delve adventure. My Delve adventure originally started in BPL, where I started at 62 on my character, which was monster level 74, and I started digging a hole. Now, there's something I want to point out and something cool that I want to show you. If we look at the mine now at depth 100, we can see a lot of the nodes that I didn't like do, right? My goal is to dig a hole and I want to get as deep as I can, as fast as I can. And there is a reason for this. The first reason is the nodes that we see at early depths are not a high eye level for monsters. So depth 116 starts with monster level 81. And then as we get to just say like 200 depth, it gets to monster level 83. Monster level 83 actually starts a little bit earlier, but you want to push down and start to go deeper. And the reason being is that you want to start to go deeper is you find more rare nodes or rarer nodes. And you're going to say to me, well, what does that mean? There are rare nodes in Delve? Just like when you map or just like when you do anything, there are very interesting rare nodes or rare things that can drop down in Delve. For example, hiding in the darkness right over here, we see a contains fire items. Now, this is a fire flame symbol. There's one for lightning. There's one for cold. There's one for chaos. There's one for gems. There's one for currency. There's one for fossils. And these are the considered to be rarer nodes. Now, these nodes change. This one contains fire items. There's ones that contain lightning, ones that contain cold, and ones contain chaos. These are really, really good nodes, and there's reasons they're good, and we'll talk about it when we get to the trade aspect of this and like where profit comes from. There's Azurite nodes, which you can see here. This is a tier 1 Azurite node. This is a tier 2 Azurite node, and there are tier 3 Azurite nodes. And as you can see, I've either done them already, or there's just not a whole lot. Oh, there's one right there. There's the tier 3 Azurite node. These nodes become more abundant the deeper we go. So these little fire nodes we'll see more often. These smugglers, like not smuggler slash, but these little fossil symbol nodes we'll see more often the deeper we go. Now, if we go back to a depth 1190 where I'm at right now, and we just take a look, you can see right away that I have fossil node, fossil node, fossil node, fossil node, fossil node, fossil node. There's a city with a boss. There's another city there. If I come up a little bit higher, there's a boss there. There's a boss there. There was a boss there. And if you just glance at the nodes I didn't do here versus the screen cap of depth 100. So if you pause this video and go back, or we can actually go back for you and go to depth 100, you'll see right away that the amount of nodes that show rare nodes is a lot less. And why is this? The reason is the deeper that you go into delve or in the mine shaft, the more often nodes are going to show up. Each one of these nodes have very specific things that we're looking for and things that you really want to try to cater to and farm. And we're going to keep this at a very basic level. So how does that work and what do I mean? When I look at delve right now, if I ignore all the nodes and I look behind the nodes, hopefully you're not colorblind, or you can actually differentiate between the differences in squares, you'll notice right away that there are a square right here that is a color, and a square right here that is a color, and a square right here that is a color. And these different squares represent different colors, represent different biomes. The biomes are magma fissure, there's sulfur vents, frozen hollow, abyssal depths. There's some other real shitter that we just never go to. Fungal caverns, there's petrified forest, and you can actually see the names and the mods that are associated with each biome. Now, this is important because fossils are attached to the biome that they're in. So we want to explore each of the biomes for different types of fossils. And what does that mean? That means that this node, Time Lost Cavern, is a very specific fossil tailored to the blue zone. In the red zone, we have the faceted fossil, which is a molten cavity. In the yellow zone, we have the humid fissure. And in each of the zones, we have different ones. I don't remember all of them. I know green is hollow fossil, and then the other ones kind of suck. And for those of you who don't know what those look like, if I come over to my fossil tab, these are your fossils. Now we'll make it so that we can actually look at POE trade, and faceted fossils come from the red biome. And these are one divine per 2 fossils. Fractured fossils come from the yellow biome. These are 1 to 6 to a divine. Hollow fossils come from the green biome. These are 1 to 3 to a divine. Glyphic fossils come from the blue biome. These are 2 to 3 or 6 to 10, depending on how you want to do it. And all of the other fossils come from in between. Now, that's quick and easy money considering the fact that I just said these were 2 for 3. So this is like 1.7 of a divine, right? If I like do these 2 nodes. I also have the boss down there. I have another one. That one's not good. I have another one over there. I have the fractured fossil there. I have a smuggler stash there, which is not very good. So like we go down and we dig this hole and we get deeper because we want to look for these fossils, and these fossils become more common the deeper that we go. Now, I actually have a screenshot that a friend of mine was doing. He got down to depth 3000 and he showed me just exactly what his mine shaft looked like. Now, his mine shaft at 3000 looked like this, and we could see right away a very big difference. We could see fossil, 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 tier 3 Azurite, tier 3 Azurite, tier 2 Azurite, tier 3 Azurite, Fizz node over here, Harvey node, Gem node, and you can see right away just from a snippet of 3000 depth. This looks very different than what an average picture here looks like. And when he was letting me look at his map, because we were like doing some nodes to test out my build at that depth, you can see right away that the difference is night and day between 1000 and 3000. The difference in this video between 1000 and 100 is a night and day difference. And you're going to say, well, why do I go down this deep, and why do I want to look for these things, and why do I want to farm these things? Well, the reason being is we looked at the rare nodes, and we see the rare nodes are more common. We looked at the fossil nodes, and we see that the fossil nodes are more common. And we looked and we saw that the Azurite is more common. Each one of those Azurite nodes, tier 1 gives a set amount, tier 2 gives a set amount, and tier 3 gives a set amount, and that scales with depth as well. up until 12 or 1500. If you remember the exact number, please leave a comment down below. I'm pretty sure it's 1200 Azurite stopped scaling. And Azurite will continue to scale and go higher and higher and higher. And Azurite's actually really good because when we talk to Nico, we can actually buy primitive chaotic resonators. Now I have 278,000 Azurite, which at the end of this video, when I'm done, I'm going to turn into resonators and go sell. Now resonators themselves as prime chaotic resonators sell for 82 to a divine. I have 278,000. So, I mean, I'm just going to grab a calculator. I'm not going to pretend like I even know how to do math on my fingers because, you know, that's 927 resonators. At 82 to a divine. It's 11 divines. It's not bad. Now, I farmed 275,000 Azurite between yesterday and today. So, like, it's not a whole lot in, like, one day. But, you know, I'm streaming. I'm talking to chat. I'm taking notes on things. So, I'm a little bit slow. So, if you just, like, focus on Azurite, you get a ton of Azurite. Now, over the last 2 days as well, I've gotten a bunch of fossils that have been selling pretty much nonstop. And it's becoming pretty good profit the more that you start playing. Now, when you start going down deeper into the hole, you're going to stop doing darkness farming. Darkness farming is really good early league. Darkness farming is really good in the earlier stages of delve. But as you go deeper, the darkness is just going to kill you. And you really don't want to be spending all of your Azurite to level up your resistances. It's going to cost me maybe all 11 divines to get my darkness and light resistance up to where I need it to be in the positives. And as you start going down, these numbers and these just start scaling like a lot. And it's just really not worth it. I've talked to a lot of delvers and they all do the same things. They get a bunch of flares. They max out their dynamite altogether. And they get some duration and some flares. And every so often they'll upgrade the radius of their flares. I know I've just done upgrading flares altogether. Because I want to use the Azurite towards profit as I want to upgrade and gear my character. Now, I had mentioned too, and I don't want to take too long in this video, but I had mentioned that there are unique nodes in Delve that drop very specific things. Some of those things are the bosses where they drop precursor rings, and you can get the different rings from the different bosses. You can get the all amulets from all himself. And the very interesting thing that can drop are mods with the tag of the underground. So if we look at this ring right here, we can see it says curse enemies with despair and hit. It has tier 1 dex, tier 3 int. And the suffixes, I mean, the prefixes are open for us to do whatever we want. And we can craft this ring however we want. And we can pretty much do whatever we want. So if I really wanted to, like with this ring, if I wanted to make a really cool, like, whoops. If I really wanted to make like a really cool ring, I can just bring this over to my crafting bench. And then just, you know, suffixes can't be changed, veiled chaos orb. And the next thing you know, I have a really nice ring. Actually, for science in this video, I'll show you. So we do our delve node and we grab this ring and we just price check the vulnerability and the dex and the accuracy. And we see that there are a couple rings up for 1 divine. I priced mine a little bit higher because these didn't exist at the time. These are now there. So, you know, we take this ring, we do, you know, suffixes can't be changed. We have a little profit crafting session. We slammed it with a veiled chaos orb. Our prefix is filled. That's not what was supposed to happen. We were supposed to have an open prefix. But anyways, we just unveil life. We have a nice ring, but I mean, we filled the prefixes. I didn't want to fill my prefixes. I wanted to craft, you know, stuff on it. But anyways, now we have like a nice ring, right? I mean, you know, y'all all click. Just put it back. Prefix. Just put it back. Prefix. Now we have a worse ring. But yeah, you know, we wanted to craft a nice ring. You make a little bit of profit and, you know, Sylvie, delve. Now we have a ring that's worth substantially less than what we started with. Maybe. Probably a lot less. Anyways, just gonna put this back in a tab and just let it sit. Anyways, there are plenty of things that come out of Delve that have a price tag that are really good. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you is I wanted to go to trade, and I had mentioned those fire nodes, I had mentioned those chaos nodes, and I wanted to just bring up something really interesting. So I have the trade website here, and I wanted to talk about these fractures, or my helmet in particular. My helmet says gain 10% of physical damage taken from its chaos. And it's fractured, and that's important to note. So I'm going to bring up the trade website, and I'm going to search helmets, and I'm going to search this fracture, and I'm just going to hit search. And there are 10 results. Uncrafted with just the fracture starts at 10 divines. This helmet can drop from the chaos nodes. The chaos nodes can drop fist taken as fire, fist taken as cold, fist taken as lightning, fist taken as chaos. The nodes can also drop fractured vulnerability, fractured frostbite. Pretty much any of the underground mod can drop fractured. And if you go to Craft of Exile, there's an entire nice list of mods that can be fractured. And all of these, as you can see, are roughly about 10 divines. But as I start going a little bit deeper into helmets that are crafted on nicer bases, we start noticing that the price starts going up and up. And then all of a sudden, the next thing that we know is there's pretty much a basic helm at a mirror. And you just kind of look at it and you're like, what the actual hell? Why is this a mirror? Why is it on a hubris circlet? What's going on? And you say, well, let's go take a look at hubris circlets and see. So we see his at a mirror, and then we just do fizz taken as chaos, and we say, forget the fracture, let's just see what we get. And it's the only one. And then we go, well, what's offline? And then we see on offline, there are 0. There's this guy for 250, this guy for 475, and then Mickle for a mirror. And then there's not another single one. You're like, wow, that's really weird. So let's go look up a mine cage, which is the helmet I have. So we start doing some investigating on this. A month ago was 50C, a day ago was 75C. If this guy logs back in and this is still available, like, one of you guys watching this video should buy this and fracture this. Like, this is like if you see this guy log in, buy that, fracture that. 3 days ago, 6 divines, and these things just don't exist. They don't exist. People don't know about them, and they're relatively important because I was gonna go search up POE Ninja, and I realized if we go to builds on POE Ninja and we change our ladder to depth and we change it to delve and we look at the highest tiers of delvers, for example, they're all using, I guess, whoa, oh, this guy, this isn't, he logs on this character and runs to a node. He logs onto a character and runs to a node. Or he changed the gear on this. Anyways, they all roughly use the exact same thing. This guy has fizz taken as fire on his. This guy also fizz taken as fire. This guy's got a Shaco. That's really cool. I actually kind of want to look at this later. That's super cool. This guy, once again, fizz taken as fire. And this guy, again, fizz taken. Oh, wow. This helmet's actually really nice, too. But you can see, and you could start to look at what the different delvers are doing and the different kind of helmets they have. There's some really cool stuff. I haven't looked at this enough. I'm, like, really intrigued. I feel like I was, like, starting to do a video, and I'm getting really sidetracked. And, like, this is, like, really cool. And, like, I'm, like, really thrilled right now that I started looking. This guy wearing magic fine gear? Did he like swap off a delving? What the hell? This guy just used this dude to run node to node? Oh, he used to be a delver. He was an IRS. See, look, he used to be a delver. He swapped it off a delve. He was the Eye of Winter build. He's taking his fire. Anyways, my point being is these helmets and these fractures are really, really, really expensive. The same thing if I were to come to this tab here and I were to look up the fracture on 83 helmets. Oh, that's the only one. If I look up the fracture on 83 helmets, you see right away they start for a really interesting price. This guy was 8 days ago. This guy was 15 hours ago at 30 divines with a fractured. This one was mine at 45, so I probably need to lower mine to match this guy. And this guy has one for 70. These fractures, they drop pretty common. The problem is people don't realize that Delve has these hidden gems and these hidden nodes in them, and that you can go find them and you can go get them. They start dropping relatively often. You can get down to depth 200, 300. They're a little bit rare, but you could start getting down there and go sideways. And if you're going to ask me what the best way to make Delve is, the best way to make Delve and profit in Delve is to start delving. If you get stuck, backtrack. If you want to try Delve and you want to learn about Delve builds, let me know in the comments down below. Come by the Twitch stream, we'll talk about it. But the best advice I can give you is to start delving. If you hit a wall with your character, go back 50 nodes, 60 nodes, and start going sideways. Delve is an infinite thing in Path of Exile that goes left to right, right to left, up and down. So as long as you get to the 83 mob nodes and you start clearing left and right, you'll start making money. Now, it might not be as good as money because you're at a lower depth. It might not be as good of money because you're still learning it. It might not be as good of money because of RNG, but Delve itself, as you progress, and Delve itself as you go, starts to be some pretty insane profit, and you start finding really cool things. And you'll notice that sometimes a lot of the Delvers don't really talk about what they're doing, and they keep a lot of that information to themselves because the money's really good. All amulets at the start of the league unidentified sell for a mint. All amulets now at this stage in the league sell for 3 divines unidentified. I got a guy who buys all of them all of the time ever. We talked about breach rings. Breach rings are basically the backbone of the armor for Delvers. Delvers want these. All of that sells. And pretty much if you just kind of look at POE Ninja and look at what the Delvers are doing, a lot of their gear designed for Delve comes out of Delve. And they need certain things to do other things. And you could start like actually looking into like really niche, cool stuff for Delve. Even if you're not like delving in itself, you could start like looking up like fracturing these gloves for certain things that I'll leave for another video, and fracturing these boots for certain things, and these weapons, and all of this stuff revolves around this weird secret world of Delve that no one's talking about. Nobody knows. Nobody wants to just break the door open. There are YouTubers that are doing a great job, and you know, there's like Jorgen and some other people that are fantastic at their job and fantastic at sharing the information, but we need more people doing it. We need more people talking about it, and we need to get the information out there. So if you want more information about Delve, or you want to talk more about Delve, or you just want to see Delve, let me know. Be more than happy to produce more content. For now, though, I'm going to get this video out to you guys, and hopefully this helps you and gives you another way to farm some profit. For now, friends, so long, farewell, Avita, and I'll see you guys in the next one.